Alright, so pretty recently, the channel passed 10,000 subscribers, which is pretty crazy. And I made a little community post here announcing that and asking for some questions that I will answer in a Q&A. So anyway, I figured I'd just go through here and, answer all these lovely questions. There's not really a format to this, and I didn't pick out certain ones like I normally would. So there's 73 of these, or maybe a little less because of replies. So I'm just going to try and go through as many of these as I can without making a video that's like an hour long. It shouldn't take too long. Anyway, let's just start on, I guess, top comments first. Oh, and okay, there seem to be quite a few that are more than one question per comment. Okay, well, let's just get started. What inspired me to start? Well, I kind of just decided it would be fun to do. I mean, there wasn't really any big motivation behind it. Like a year maybe before I started this channel, I had a different channel that I made videos on for a little while, and then I stopped doing that, and then I kind of got motivated to do this again. I was like, oh, this could be cool, and then I started doing it because I enjoyed it. That's kind of all there is to it. And why did I? Oh, okay, those are basically the same question. I guess I think I answered both of those. What is my favorite build? There are few that come to mind as like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed building those. One was the centrifugal bomber because it just worked really well, it looked cool, and it was kind of just fun to make. So I feel like I'd put that one there. Recently, the the hypersonic missile, not the most complex build, but it was just a lot of fun to use. And it goes really fast, which is always fun. I'm sure there are others, which, I mean, there's the crash test dummy I made, that was kind of fun. I don't know, I feel like I don't really have one favorite build, but there are some I like more than others. Will you do any dev collabs? So I'm guessing this means, going on the Flashbulb streams, or I know they do tutorials that they make in partnership with creators. There have been a couple times when I had the opportunity to go and be on one of the streams with some other creators or just doing that sort of thing. But because Flashbulb is in, I don't remember, it's somewhere in Europe, so because of time zones, usually it's kind of hard to line things up, but I'm sure it'll happen eventually. And will I do any tutorials? If that's referring to the Flashbulb ones, my point stands with the whole time zones thing. And if it just means general tutorials, I'd like to think in some aspects most of my videos can kind of function as tutorials, like you can kind of follow along. As for dedicated tutorials, I don't really see myself doing that because I feel like I'm not really qualified to give tutorials on anything. I feel like there are much more talented people in this community that could do it better, but who knows. Are we any closer to a face reveal? I mean, under the assumption that I will eventually do one, which maybe, I guess by definition we're closer. If that answers your question. Will we be seeing any more collabs? Right, I was on one of Fuzy's videos not too long ago. I don't really do any multiplayer. I mean, I do the occasional multiplayer thing, but I don't really do much of that at all. I mean, maybe? Maybe, I don't really know. Will we ever see your setup? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe since this Q&A was really not all I had planned for 10K, I've been busy, and I was like, let me do something. So I don't know, maybe I'll do a setup reveal or something. I don't know, it could be interesting. What got you inspired? I think I kind of answered that. And have you ever failed to make a post? I'm guessing this is talking about like videos that didn't happen, or I mean, the way I see it is I've had videos where I've scrapped, whether because the idea didn't end up working out, or I finished it, I was like, oh, that wasn't very good, I don't really want to upload that. Or the rare instance where a file gets either messed up, or I go through an entire recording only to find out my microphone is muted in OBS, which has happened like 2 times now. So yeah, that's happened. Answered that one. Before I started YouTube, what did you want your future to be like? I never really saw YouTube as, I mean, I still only see it as kind of a hobby, although now with the benefit of getting paid, which is kind of cool. So I feel like I don't see my future any different. Like, I don't see myself doing this full time. I see myself continuing it as a hobby, but that's kind of it. But my future has kind of stayed relatively the same. I still plan to, go to college and all that, and hopefully get, an actual career, not making YouTube videos. But who knows? What is your dream build that I want to make in Trailmakers? I don't know if there's like, I mean, there have been times where I'm like, oh, this would be a really cool build. And then I realize I'm not good enough at building to make it all that good. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't know if there's one that I really know that I wanted to make but couldn't. And favorite build, yep, I answered that. And oh, okay, of course. My celebrity crush. I don't think I've really ever had one. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah. And then just okay, great. And yep, okay, I've seen that before. Would the content extend outside? Oh, okay. So will I do anything outside Trailmakers? I mean, maybe. I don't have any plans on doing it right now, but I feel like maybe at some point. What is my life outside of YouTube? Not all that interesting. I've got school and stuff. I'm on a robotics team. I do some stuff like that. I'm really into all sorts of engineering, that sort of thing. But I mean, nothing too crazy. And how do I manage making videos and all that? I really only upload once a week, and the videos don't take that long to make. I mean, it's not too bad. So it's typically like around the weekend where I have more time. I'll record something and then edit it at some point over the next week and get that out. It's not usually too hard to take care of. Oh, and they also ask about the recording software. I just use OBS. I think pretty much every single person who records videos on PC uses OBS. It's the recording software to use. Was Trailmakers the game that I always wanted to make content on? Not really. I mentioned before I had another channel before this. I actually did stuff on Minecraft. And then after that, I never really thought about making videos on Trailmakers. I had already been playing it for a while. And then I was like, what if I started another channel? And then I did. Simple question, PC specs. If I can remember off the top of my head, my GPU is a AMD RX 6700 XT, and I believe I have a Ryzen 7600, for my CPU. 32 gigabytes of DDR5, got a 2 terabyte SSD, as well as a 10 terabyte external hard drive where I store videos and stuff on. I think that's kind of the main stuff. I don't know, it's been like a year now since I built my computer. What is my favorite wacky contraption? The first thing that pops into my head is Will, the crash test dummy. I am so happy with how he ended up, or how he turned out. That was a fun one. If I don't make it as a YouTuber, other dreams, and I kind of already mentioned this, for as long as I can remember, I've wanted to go into engineering. So, going into college and stuff very soon, and hopefully gain a degree in mechanical engineering. Who inspired you to start? I can't really think of anyone. I feel like when I had my previous channel, when I did some random Minecraft stuff, I think there were some people that kind of inspired me. I can't think of the names off the top of my head. But then when I started this one, the inspiration was, I guess, my last channel, in the way that I wanted to kind of do that again, but better, I guess. And tips for gaining subs. I mean, make good stuff and keep at it, I guess. I don't know. I am not an expert on that. What was your first build? I don't know what my first one was, because the first blueprint I have right now is not my first build, because at some point all my build files, or all my blueprint files, got just deleted, which is a thing that happens on the rare occasion with this game. So I have no idea what my first build was. Probably something extremely basic. How old am I? I'm currently 17. And, oh wait, can I ask Gwembler for the other side of his match? I think that's referring to I don't know if the situation's the same, but the last time I talked to him, I know he has a mattress up against, I think, just his door frame, because he either doesn't have a door in his room right now, or so I think it's something like that. I'm not I might not be super up to date on the Wimplar lore, but I suppose I can pass along that information. What or who inspires you? Can I answer that? Favorite type of cheese? I don't know, man. The one that tastes good. Coldest fridge okay, oh, I see how these are. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Does he want the temperature inside my refrigerator? I could not tell you. How do you like your steak? I don't even eat steak that much. I don't know. Okay, that's interesting. I feel like the hypersonic missile would be great mod, maybe. And you kind of want it. It is on the workshop for Steam users, so all my builds are up there. So yeah. Do I have a job outside? I used to have a part-time job at a grocery store. Then I stopped doing that, started doing this, and then when I started making money, I wasn't as motivated to get a job because I started making more than I was at my other part-time job. But you know, eventually. How and why did I kind of answer that? My favorite content creator? I'm not really sure. I watch a handful, and it kind of changes pretty frequently. Yeah, I'm not really sure about that one. I don't have one that I'm like, oh, this is my favorite. Do you play any games like War Thunder? I used to. Quite a while ago. I have like a few hundred hours on that game. I just used to play that a lot. And will I ever make a second channel and upload videos on other games? I feel like maybe a second channel. I don't know. If you guys would want that, maybe I would. Best tip for getting good at Trailmakers. I don't consider myself super good at the game. But I feel like just build more things and I don't know, see how other people build and just keep building things and you'll eventually get better. Where do I find confidence? Well, in terms of energy for like recording stuff, I used to be a lot worse at it. I still don't consider myself amazing at it, but I feel like it's just kind of come naturally with doing this more. I've gotten more confident with like talking for recordings. So yeah. How did you feel about your channel at the beginning? Well, I started it out and I felt more confident about it than the last one I had because I was like, oh, these are much better than what I used to do. And I kind of looked at it as a fresh opportunity and just a fun thing to do. It was definitely a lot different back then when I just had, you know, like you said, first 10 subs. I mean, yeah, definitely a lot different then. How did I get so good at, I mean, I guess I don't consider myself that good at building. I feel like there are so many other people who are way better at it. But I mean, time on the game, I guess. I have like well over 1,000 hours in the game, so, you know, eventually I stopped being horrible at the game. Will I play other games? Like I said, maybe. I mean, if you guys want it, maybe I will. You'd love to see Scrap Mechanic. I play that game occasionally. Not all that much, but I don't know, maybe at some point. How did I learn to be Guys, I am not that good at this game. I appreciate the compliment, but I mean, I guess just time on the game. That's just 2 words. That's not even a question. Are you gonna be doing more right, like the thing with Yuzi? Like I said, maybe. I don't have any plans, like current plans for it, but it could totally happen again. Some of my other hobbies, I think I mentioned that briefly. I do robotics things and different sort of engineering projects or hobbies. I've got a 3D printer that I'm really into making stuff with that. I'm sure I have others that I'm just not really thinking of right now. But yeah, do you like making Trailmakers videos? And do you want to make videos on other things? I do still enjoy this. Some videos can be a little more tedious than others, but it's overall pretty enjoyable. And I mean, I don't have any big desires to do it on other games. I feel like the few games that I do play outside of this, I don't really know how I would even make content around them. I mean, I guess I could, but it'd be so different from this, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with just sticking to Trailmakers for now. Why did I use the the Flash Bowl official PvP tournament? That in mine we used tanks, so I guess we could have used planes, but tanks are a little easier to use, and that day I was not really feeling it, so I don't know, we did tanks, and you know, it went not great, but you know, it was interesting. Make a missile with okay. When am I posting a face reveal? I don't have any plans on it, but I guess eventually maybe. Will I ever bring back willing participant? Will the crash test dummy? I want to. I want to do some more stuff with him, but I haven't thought of a good idea that includes him because he's such a fun little character. But I don't know. Let me know more things I can do with him because I want to bring him back. Did I ever hear of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I mean, who hasn't? Let's suppose I wanted to make an open top box, 700 complexity. You can only use 2x2 blocks. There's the maximum internal volume. I don't know, man. I am not getting out a calculator for answering questions for a Q&A. Sorry to disappoint you. What is the most important logic block? I mean, there are definitely some really powerful ones. I mean, I'm not really, I don't do a ton with logic. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what would be the most important for like complex builds, like the most powerful one. But, I mean, something like the Humble OR gate. I mean, I feel like just because of how much it's used, even on super basic builds that don't really have any logic in them, I mean, that's a pretty important block. How do I think of ideas? I just kind of am doing everyday things and an idea comes to me like, oh, that would be pretty funny, or that would be pretty cool, or maybe a combination of the two, and I think about it and I think, I think I can make that into a pretty good video, and then I do. What is my best build of, I mean, kind of mentioned, I had a few favorites like the Centrifugal Bomber or the Hypersonic Missile was fun. In terms of best build, I feel like the Centrifugal Bomber was a pretty well made build. I don't know, there are probably some I'm forgetting. What was your favorite build? And okay, answered that one. There are quite a few duplicates here. What caused you to choose to play Trailmakers? I kind of touched on this before. I had been playing it before and I was like, what if I made another channel on this? And then I did. How tall am I? I think I'm like somewhere in between 5'11 and 6 foot. I haven't checked recently. I think I'm around there. Favorite series to make? I have quite a few. There's like the different types of weird, wacky bombers I made. The really unconventional weapons, like, you know, where I put like a crossbow on a plane or a sword on a plane. I had a bunch of like railgun videos. I made some types of really weird missiles. I've had the crash test dummy videos. I'm not sure if I have a favorite. I mean, I feel like there's certain favorite videos from each series, but the series as a whole, it's kind of hard to pick a favorite. They're all fun in different ways. Am I going to answer this question you're asking right now? No. Do I work for a national defense company? Wouldn't you like to know? What build am I most proud of? I've said that. Oh wait, there's actually a different question here. What am I least proud of or my most disliked build? That's an interesting one. I feel like there are some builds where I'm not as proud of. I mean, one that comes to mind, which ironically the video actually did really well. It's like my second or third most popular one of all time. It was like orbital, I forget what I called it. It was that one in space where it spun up a big disc and flung the bombs out, just like a big orbital carpet bombardment. The original idea I had for that was a lot cooler, but super early on I realized the bombs would disappear or despawn after a certain amount of time, which kind of messed up the whole thing. I feel like I managed to still make something somewhat interesting, but that was one of the recent ones where I was a little disappointed with how it went. Do I know who Right, I do hear that one quite a few times. I am aware of him. I know we both use the old TV, old computer monitor sort of thing as a head. Pretty common thing on this platform. And yet it doesn't help that we both have black and green as colors. The funny thing is, when I originally made my little character, I wasn't even thinking about that, and after I made it, it wasn't until like a little while later when I was like, oh right, the colors and stuff are similar to him, but they're still pretty different. He is not my Lolnos brother, I can confirm that. How do I get video ideas? I think I mentioned that. Do I like peanut butter? I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. Seems like only a few months, I didn't even have 5,000. Oh yeah, the growth has been pretty crazy. In fact, I can probably pull it up real quick. Here we go. The lifetime analytics. Super early on, I was, just not many. It kind of picked up a little around there. That must have been some video that did all right. It was just a very slow growth. Kind of picked up a little, and then grew more and more. Started rapidly, and then I don't remember exactly what was around there, but it just shot up and then kept growing. Pretty linearly after that. So, it's pretty crazy stuff. Will I play other games? I kind of mentioned that, maybe. Why a screen for a head? Like I mentioned, the whole TV computer for a character's head, pretty common thing that people do. And I was thinking of different unique sort of characters I could make. And originally when I made my logo, it was supposed to be like an old computer. I wasn't originally thinking it would be a head, but then I put a face on it and I used that as a logo. And then when I decided I want to make like a sort of character around this, I thought that would be fun. I thought of the most natural way to use my logo in that, and it was kind of just a natural endpoint that it would be a head. Face reveal, eventually, maybe, I don't know. What is the biggest obstacle I faced? I feel like there weren't any big roadblocks or anything. I feel like in terms of video to video, one of the biggest struggles can be coming up with an idea. I think that will be good, because I think if I had unlimited time to do this and I never got tired of it, the bottleneck would be coming up with ideas, not, recording or editing or anything like that. So, yeah. Who do you think is the most talented Trailmakers player? Yeah, that would be me. No. I have no idea. I couldn't even name that many. I mean, there are a few that come to mind that I know are good at the game, but I feel like I don't know enough to really be sure. Are crabs cool? Yeah? Why is your guy a TV? Yep, I kind of mentioned that. Will I give you all my money? No. Do I like cheese? What is with the cheese? Why is his username cheese? I mean, yeah. Favorite color? I would say green, but recently it hasn't been as much. I mean, I still like green, but also, I don't know. I feel like most people have a favorite color, but I don't really have one that I'm super set on anymore. I mean, I like black for different things, but that, that's more of a, I don't know, I feel like that's something else. Anyway, are my parents alive? Yep. And the final one, why are you cool? It just comes naturally. Anyway, that was all of them. That actually didn't take all that long. Oh, right, the massive spit. Let me just go ahead and collapse that. Yep, just... Anyway, that's about it. Thanks for 10K again, and yeah, see you in the next one.